Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to CraftStash Live. As has been the last few weeks, we are not in the usual studio, but I'm sure you understand why. We have a really, really special guest, as such, not quite with me, but almost with me today. We have wonderful Josh from Sizzix. He has created some brilliant demonstrations for you. In fact, this is jam-packed with inspiration, this particular show today. Now, alongside that, we've also got some fantastic offers because today we are launching the Sizzix Chapter 2 items. Now, you are going to absolutely love this, and I'm going to let Josh, with his videos, talk you through more about the products and everything, but we have an amazing prize bundle for you, or two, in fact. Now, we didn't put a post up earlier in the week because, of course, we know things are changing really, really quickly day to day at the moment. So we didn't want to advertise this too quickly, but we have two amazing Sizzix prize bundles for you, and they will be chosen from you who are commenting on this live feed later on today. So in about an hour or so, when I wrap up the show, I will announce two winners. So make sure that you are tagging your friends in this, you are commenting, you're letting me know how you're doing. We've got the lovely Hillary in her house also helping to answer your questions on the feed too. So get involved, and if you're joining us later on, not quite live, you can still watch this will remain on our feed. Okay, so hopefully we're capturing lots of you at home who are maybe a little bit fed up with staying indoors now. This is going to give you so much crafting inspiration. So what I'm going to do first of all is I am going to pop online and see who's joining us today. So we have so hello Sharon, so Sharon Curtis from Sizzix as well. Good, hello, I haven't spoken to you for ages. Hillary was just spoken about, she's watching. Carol Lewis, hello. Hi Cheryl, hello Charlotte, hello Jess. Sharon, have I mentioned Sharon? There may be more than one of you. Kate. Hello, Sizzix has joined us, so I'm really pleased you're with us today as well. So what I want to do first of all, like I say, get tagging, get commenting, because that's where I'm going to choose the winners from. So Josh is first of all going to introduce you to the demonstrations he's going to be doing throughout the hour. Now, one of those that we've kept aside as a surprise for you, so that's going to be going online. I think that might already be online now, actually, so look out for that. But the live ones that you're going to see, almost live, that you're going to see in a moment, he's going to run through, and some of the new products as well. So let's take a look first of all at his what his demos will be, what you can look forward to. So here's Josh.
Hello and welcome to CraftStash. My name's Josh from Sizzix, working from home as we all are at the moment. Here to bring you some inspiration for things that you might want to make at home. I think crafting is just an amazing thing to do during this time when we've all got not much to do. Luckily I've got all my Sizzix products here, but hopefully at home you've got enough stuff to be, you know, getting on with following on these makes that I'm going to show you. In fact, I'll show you them right now. We've got so far, this is going to be an introduction to our Chapter 2 dyes, so I'm just going to show you these makes. These are the things that I'm going to be showing you how to make now. So
now, as far as I understand, that was repeating me over and over again. So shall we have another look at Josh and see whether we can get that coming? What I'll do is I'll just wait to see in the comments. Make sure you're hearing me again now live. So can someone let me know if you're hearing me or not? I'm not sure. We can get some comments. So we're hello Tracy, hello Aisha, hello Sharon again. Never heard of Chapter 2 dyes. Well, they are brand new. That's why. Just waiting to make sure you can hear me. We've got some sort of microphone problems for some reason. Yes, you can hear me again, Sharon. Thank you. Okay, so I think my video is actually playing me over and over again. So let's go back to Josh. I'll play it from the beginning again for you. So hopefully you can hear him. Fingers crossed this time.
hello and welcome to CraftStash. My name's Josh from Sizzix, working from home as we all are at the moment. Here to bring you some inspiration for things that you might want to make at home. I think crafting is just an amazing thing to do during this time when we've all got not much to do. Luckily I've got all my Sizzix products here, but hopefully at home you've got enough stuff to be, you know, getting on with following on these makes that I'm going to show you. In fact, I'll show you them right now. We've got so far, this is going to be an introduction to our Chapter 2 dies. So I'm just going to show you these makes. These are the things that I'm going to be showing you how to make now. So this one here is the Floral Tropics Dye. I've stuck them down on here and used a really nice technique that I absolutely love at the moment. And it's a really fun technique to show as well, so I'm looking forward to showing that one. We have this card here, which is a lovely one using our bee dye and the shrink plastic, and that's just been layered up and used, you know, some diagonal effects with the card that'll just bring it to life. We have this lovely card here, also using the bee dye. We've got our occasion phrases here, the thanks sentiment from the occasion phrases, and I've used the Opulent cardstock here. We've got charcoal and mirror here, but I'll tell you more about those as we go on. Here we have one using our dimensional domes. This is the love sentiment. That's also from the occasion phrases die set here, and then we've used the romantic layers here, like we have on this one, but I forgot to mention on that one. And then just a lovely blending technique here that you can see through our domes for a really lovely effect. You'll see that all these cards I've used my foam tape as well, because I love to add a bit of dimension to the makes. So we should get started. I'll just go over quickly. Here's the dyes that we're going to be using. We've got the Bee Dye by Lisa Jones. This is a really lovely one. It's really symbolic at the minute, you know. It's a sort of symbol of unity, which I think we need at the moment as well. Lovely, simple, modern florals here with the Floral Tropics Dye. That's by Sophie Geiler. We've got the Romantic Layers, which is a really good dye for using for, you know, a box frame or something like that, for a shadow box effect. And then these sentiments here are just great sentiments that, you know, come up every day in any kind of occasion, if you were sending a card to a friend, something like that. So we've used these dyes. There's many more dyes in the Chapter 2 dye set. You'll have to check them out on the CraftStash website or on
So lovely. Hopefully you all heard Josh there. I understand it's a little bit quiet, so just maybe pop your volume up. I've got it up as loud as I possibly can for you this end. Maybe if I talk a bit quieter, then I won't be blasting your ears when you come back to me. So Sizzix Chapter 2, you just got a little sneak peek of some of what it's about there. We have at craftstash.co.uk, we have the very best prices that you will find anywhere on the web. Okay, they are amazing prices. I've had a look. Unbelievable. Okay, so pop on and have a look at those. We also have, because it's Sizzix Day, we have a deal of the day. This is the Sizzix glue gun. You get a free pack of glue sticks when you buy the glue gun as well. It's absolutely amazing. I'm desperately trying to get my hands on it, so I think this is going to be the way I'm going to go for this, is with that deal of the day. We do have a deal of the day every single day as well. Keeping with Sizzix, so I'm actually having to read these. There's so many deals with the Sizzix brand today. It's crazy, but that's the big celebration for the launch of Chapter 2. So we have an exclusive machine bundle that is only available at CraftStash. So it's the fold away, which you may or may have not seen before. You get the die pick, the release sheet, and a 3D embossing bundle. So this is an amazing price. Usually it's around about £164, give or take. We have got it now for you at CraftStash for £105.99. So £106, just over £100. That is a phenomenal saving. So pop over and have a look at that. Not only have we got those three offers for you, we've also got a reduction of around 35% off of old Sizzix products as well. You will see these. If you're signed up to CraftStash, you'll have had an email this morning and you can go through those offers. If you're not already, make sure you do that, because every single day you will get brand new offers drop straight into your inbox so you don't miss out on anything. So let's have a jump in straight away with one of these demonstrations from Josh. We're going to look at that Opulent card that he was talking about first of all. It is beautiful using this new collection. And don't forget, I have got a brand new collection bundle, 2 bundles in fact, to give away. Make sure you're commenting. I will choose one from towards the end of this hour, and make sure you're tagging and sharing with your friends as well. So let's take a look now at this Opulent card that he's making.
Next card. Okay, so we're going to try this one now. We've got the charcoal Opulent card here, and you can see that speckled effect there. It's all glittery and lovely. I think it's like a mature approach to glitter there, which I really love. And then we've got the mirror Opulent card there that was just a slightly different tone. It's less glittery, but it's more shiny. I think it looks really nice. Okay, so I'm going to take some, not shrink plastic, I'm going to take some of my stencil foam. And this comes in the set here. It's a circle framelit, comes in the set, and it goes around here. But I'm just going to use it on its own at first to cut the stencil film. And this has just given me a mask. So a mask that I can use then to blend some of my colours with. Is that the card for that? Nope, it's this one. Okay. What I am going to have to do is find my lovely assistant and fiancée Susie is doing the camera work here. She's just passed me some kitchen roll, which is very helpful. So where was I? Here we go. I'm going to put this on my mat, layer this up. You can see on the card that I've done it, the circle's slightly higher than the middle there, which is, just gives enough room to put the sentiment at the bottom. So I'm going to angle that there. Now, it is easier to use to blend and use the stencil film when you maybe use a bit of adjustable spray adhesive, but we don't have any of that at the minute, so I'm just going to hold it down. Okay, so I'm going to use the same colour here, this yellow. I mean, this is an oxide, but I'm just going to use the same one. Very lightly, because now I do not want the circle to move. But as I say, this can be done easily when you've just got a bit of spray mount. There we go. And then I'll leave that there. I'm going to change the pads. This is the Sizzix multi-tool here that I'm using. It's a blending tool, but it's not the same as the rest because it's a bit more ergonomic. You can hold it like a pencil. It's angled this way and it just makes it so you can see what you're doing with it. This is a really nice thing. Okay, so I'll just reposition that. There we go. I'm going to come in from the top here. I want it to be darker towards the top and then get lighter as it gets towards that yellow, and it's going to give the effect of a sort of sunrise or sunset. There we go, that's working well. I think the trick with distress inks, what my good friend Pete Hughes always says, is that you can always add more, but you can't take it away. It's like salt in cooking. There we go. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. A nice circle there. It's lovely. Next, I'm going to take the same die that I've just used, which was the circle framelit that I just cut the stencil film with, which is here. And I'm going to take this element from the die set here. The die itself is meant to be layered up. So we have this element and we have another one. This is the background element that contains here the bunting across there, but I think it just looks lovely. So I'm going to layer it up might want to show this on here actually. Layer up the dye, and then this I'm just going to put around it. There we go. So that just gives us a nice little framed section that I can outline my blending with. Sandwich it up. I'm just hoping that everyone's sort of craft areas at home are as messy as mine is right now. Okay, and it is quite a detailed dye, so I'm going to use my poke tool. Actually, do you know what? That's just coming out there. I'll just use the poke tool to get rid of a few tiny little bits. There we go. And then a bit of our express glue. Just a few key areas. And then this is nearly ready to stick down. There we are. A few areas here. I can angle this whichever way I like. I'm going to put it on a slightly diagonal angle. Just try and make sure that the circle just encompasses your whole blended area. You know what, I've left a bit of white there, and I just think that it's given a really nice effect there. Okay, so next I'm going to use a tiny bit of this card. I'm going to show you now how to actually layer up the elements of the bee dye, because when you do it this way, you could just use, you know, Sizzix cardstock. We've got, you know, limoncello, some of the other different yellow shades that we've got. But at this moment, I'd like a blended effect, so I'm just going to use some of this white card. And I'm going to use my multi-tool with the blending head. Again, I'm just going to blend a bit of this yellow, and I'm going to try and fade it out towards one side. This way, I can take the smaller element from the bee dye, and I'm just going to angle it there so that it's a different colour towards the top than it is the bottom, so it's a gradient. Okay. There we are. Layer that up. One turn through the machine. And there we are. I'm going to take the more detailed part, and this is where I get to use some of our mirror Opulent card. I'll stick that there for now. Just going to use the pokey tool if I can find it. I can't find it. It doesn't matter for now. I'll take a piece of this lovely Opulent card. You can see this sort of, it's a slightly purpley tint to it. It's just really lovely. As soon as you can see yourself in it. There we go. I'm going to layer up this part now. I'm just going to cut that more detailed part of the die set there, and that's going to be layered on top. Again, this could be done in black card if you wanted it to be a bit bolder. I just think that when we're making this card, we're matching some of the opulence to others. I like to tie in the colours together. Okay, now I definitely need, there we are, the poker tool. And again, this is a more detailed die, so it's going to require a bit of poking. Not much though. There we go. That's all we needed. Okay, and then I'm going to use my glue again just very, very slightly. So the express glue is perfect if you're just applying glue to tiny areas, which we all often do as crafters. Okay, so I will layer this up. Just make sure that it all meets properly. You can be more careful than I can be when I'm doing it. I've already made it once. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to stick this here in a minute, but first I'm again going to use my Opulent card because I want to tie in this bee with the sentiment. I'm going to use the thanks sentiment here. Oh, there we are. And I'm just going to plonk that on here. And again, making sure that none of it's overlapping there because we don't want to cut off any of the letters. There we are. So that's lovely. Shouldn't require any pokey tool. That's come up there. And that's just a really lovely bit of calligraphy that can just be put on the front there. So all I need to do, tiny bit of express glue on here. I'm going to have that be just diagonally flying over. Ooh. And then I'm actually just going to add a tiny bit here and a tiny bit here because this whole thing doesn't need to be stuck down. I like the way that parts of it come up actually. There we are. Ooh. So, perfect. That's card number 2. So that's just a few layering techniques. Our Opulent card, which just really bring this card to life, especially when you use different versions of the Opulent. So these are from the same set here, both darker colours, but we've used charcoal there, which is for the glittery effect, and then for the glossy effect, we've used mirror there. And I think that's just really brought it to life.
That's absolutely beautiful. A gorgeous, gorgeous card from Josh there. And I just love some of the techniques he uses as well. I think he showed that bumblebee off absolutely perfectly. Now, the Sizzix Chapter 2, for those of you who don't know, it is a collection of dyes and such that are made by all different designers. Now, they're the ones you know and love. So we've got in there Tim Holtz, there's Eileen Hull, there's dyes from Olivia Rose. In fact, that Olivia Rose wreath dye, everyone else keep your hands off because that's the one I'm going to get. Absolutely, I adore it. So don't forget, craftstash.co.uk. We have got the very best offers on the web at the moment. So you can search elsewhere if you want to, but we can promise you today with that launch, we've got the best offers for you and the best prices. There's also that deal of the day with the Sizzix glue gun. I know you saw him using that. That was in the background. Really fantastic offer with that. You're getting the glue sticks as well for free today. We've got the bundle as well, the die cutting bundle with the machine, the die pick, the release sheets, embossing bundle, all of that for just over £100, £105.99. And there's also 35% off older Sizzix launches as well, so make sure you're checking out that. Now we've got some other deals as well on CraftStash today, or some other things going on just to let you know about before we go on to the next demonstration from Josh. He really has given us so much. I apologise if we do run over the hour, but I'm not fussed. I hope you're not. I don't suppose you'll mind at all more demonstrations and inspiration. So just to let you know as well, today we have got the launch of the new Sue Wilson collection. So make sure you have a look at that. If you love Sue Wilson's products, there's new ones over on CraftStash right now. We've extended the free delivery on the magazines on CraftStash. So knowing with the current climate, with people not quite so able to get out to the shops, that free delivery that we had going to the 31st of March, we've now extended that to the middle of April for now. Who knows if it will get extended again, but stock up on your favourite magazines because we can't keep this free delivery running forever. But that just means everything's getting delivered to your door and you haven't got to worry about getting to the shops for it. If you do have a magazine that you pick up regularly, don't forget as well to subscribe to it because there's often some fantastic subscription deals as well. Now, lastly, if you love Altenew, so Altenew stamping and such, they are celebrating their 6th birthday tomorrow. So there's a massive blog hop. So Altenew have sent out some product to lots and lots of different companies, different bloggers, influencers and such. You're going to get some amazing demonstrations through a blog hop tomorrow. Obviously started with Altenew, but CraftStash are going to be, I think it's around 12th or so along the line. So at 1 o'clock GMT, we are going to have our post up on CraftStash. If you go onto the homepage, scroll down to the bottom, there's an inspiration section, crafting inspiration. Click on that and you'll get taken to the blog. Alternatively, you can put in craftstash.co.uk/inspiration, I think, and have a look there because you're going to see some fantastic I think there's 3 cards actually from our Linda Parker. She's on the design team for CraftStash. She has done the Altenew blog hop project, so keep an eye on that. So shall we jump straight back into another demonstration? This is probably my favourite one that Josh has done, and certainly one that I'm going to be borrowing the technique from. So it's getting a little bit painty, inky, perfect for maybe masculine cards. But let's have a look at this, and don't forget to be commenting while you're watching, so you can be in with a chance of winning one of these 2 bundles. So let's have a look at the painty one.
So this is my favourite of them all at the moment. I love this die set. The florals are really bold and modern looking, but they have such a nice effect when you use them all together. You know, it's just a really lovely set. So what I've done so far, so I'll show you here. I've pre-cut this because again, you don't need to see me just cutting them, but I'll show you how I've made this part here. What I've done is I've taken different elements of the Floral Tropics die set. So they're all in here, as you can see. And I've stuck them down black on black there. And you might be able to see a bit of glue on the card there, but that doesn't matter because we are going to be using some acrylics and paint effect over there. You see bits are sticking off the side there. Just to show you what I'm doing, this is another element from the die set that I had pre-cut. Just going to show you myself gluing this down and how I'm just deciding how to position them. So we just need a little bit. I'm going to put it on half for now because I'm going to stick this half off the corner here. There we are. So the glue works really quickly, this express glue, but it's perfect because it gives you enough time to readjust if you need to. So I've stuck that on the side there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my slicer here. You could just use some scissors, but just for the speed, I'm going to use my slicer and I'm going to cut all these bits off, a rectangle around it here. See there? I'll do this side here. Back to this side. And finally, this side. So, I don't know if you can see there. This is what it looks like so far. Doesn't look like much, but it really gets brought to life with this technique here. Again, shown to me by Pete Hughes. I've got to give him credit for most of the things I do, but I just love the technique and I've played with it and tried to make it my own, and it's become one of my favourite things at the minute. So I'm going to put a tiny blob of just a greeny kind of yellow acrylic and a turquoisey one. You can play around with the colours and you can mix and match because the effect is what looks nice here, not just the colours. But I think the colours bring a lot to it in this one. So I'm going to give my sponge a spray. I don't want the sponge to be too wet, so just 2 little tiny sprays and then you can ring it. it has to be subtle. Otherwise these colours aren't going to blend very well, because we want this streaked effect there. We don't want it to be all misty. So I'm going to thin it out a bit, and all I'm going to do, this is a dragging technique. I like having the mat here because I can start on the mat and go over the make rather than getting it all over the table. I'm going to just drag it down like this. There we go. And you can see that it starts to pick up the raised elements there. I'm going to bring in some of the greeny yellow there and just do some drags of this one. And it just highlights the raised bits here. Okay, nearly finished. You don't want to go overboard with this because it's quite very easy to. So I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. I just find it so fun though that I could do it all day. So there we go. I'll quit while I'm ahead with that. Then I'm going to use my spatula again. Same speckling technique. I'm just going to give them a spray. A good tip with this is, if you have a spatula like this, if you want to have a big sort of circumference of splatter, it's a good idea to put your thumb nearer to the top. So the nearer your thumb is to the top of the actual tool that you're using, the smaller the range is there. But if you have your thumb down here, you get a big range. So I will add those splatters now, and don't be afraid to get messy with it as well. That's what these kind of mixed media techniques are all about. There we go. That'll do for now. I'm going to use my heat tool just to dry this. And then last but not least, let's have that kitchen roll again. I'll just give this a wipe. Trying to clean as I go, which I don't normally have to do when I'm in work. I can get as sort of messy as I want, but it's not just me living here at the moment. So I'll try not to take over the whole apartment with craft stuff. So last but not least, I'm going to take some Gilding Wax. Scrap bit of paper. I'll use the bit that I cut the bee out of earlier, and I'm just gonna, I don't use it on anything like this because it's very hard to get off this, the Gilding Wax. So I'm just going to use that on a scrap piece of paper. All I'm going to do is bring in on some of the raised bits a few highlights, just because this colour goes very nicely with these other colours. And you can do it as much or as little as you want. I quite like adding it on because it gives a sort of, it's like an effect of rusted sort of bronze or copper. There we go. I'm not going to go mad. Lovely. So there's the front piece done. Give my fingers a wipe. And all that's left to do is take some card. This is also from the Opulent cardstock. This is it's the Ivories, and it's called Soft Touch. It's a just off white, which is a really nice thing to have in your repertoire. So there we go. I know at the minute I'm kind of overusing this angled card technique, but it's something that I really like at the moment. I tend to get something that I very much enjoy doing, and then I'll use it and use it and use it until I find something else that I really, really love to do, and then I'll use and use and use that. And at the moment, I'm just loving layering things up in a way where it's a bit skewed, but it brings the make to life. So there we are. Do you know what? I will use again some of my foam tape. For people who don't have nails, these fine tip tweezers are a godsend. There we are, all layered up. And then again, with the sentiment here, this is from the Detailed Tropics Dye set. It's a dye and stamp set. And what I've done is, we don't have any white stamping ink, so I just use some gesso, some white gesso here, and I spread it thin onto my craft mat and just use that. When you do something like this, you've got to do it a few times, try and get the perfect one, and then cut around it afterwards. Okay, so peeling off the foam tape. And then again, I'm angling this. It needs to be angled as well, worth saying, so you can show that it's on purpose. Because if you don't angle, I feel if you don't angle something enough, then it looks like you've just tried to put it straight and it's not gone straight. But there we go. So memories, lovely sentiment on the front of this really lovely card, and this is using one of the dies from our Chapter 2 set.
Isn't that fantastic? Can you see what I mean? I absolutely love that demonstration. It's really, really simple to do. We've had some amazing comments coming through whilst that was playing. Thank you all. You're all in the hat, the imaginary hat, to win one of 2 bundles. Now, that heat gun that Josh was using, that is in one of the bundles. The card stock there, the glue gun, there's all sorts going into these 2 bundles. So they're going to be coming out to you. I'm going to choose a winner during one of the next 2 demonstrations. There are still 2 more demonstrations Josh has done for us that we can play. The last one is absolutely amazing, and I know my children are going to love it. So if you've got children or grandchildren at home, you're going to love that as well. So let's just have a read of a few of these comments. Say hello to some more people now you're joining us. Jules, hello, absolutely loving the demos today. Tracy Arnold, oh, she's replying to Sizzix. Sorry, Sizzix are watching live as well, so hello to Sizzix. Everyone say hello to them. Keep them busy. Sharon, we all want to pretend we are artists and this is great. Fantastic. We've got Dawn, love the gesso idea. I always read that as a G. It's a J, isn't it? Carol Lewis, wow, super prizes. They really are today. They're all everything's from Sizzix. So, you know, the quality is going to be amazing. Don't forget, we have got on these new Chapter 2 dies and everything, we've got the best offers on CraftStash at the moment. Obviously, we don't know how long we can hold those for. There will be a little while, but make sure you're hopping on there and getting the best possible prices for them. And the glue gun, if you're picking that up today as part of the deal of the day, you're going to get the glue sticks for free as well included. And if you do love Sizzix, or maybe you're just introduced to Sizzix, maybe this is the first time you've seen Sizzix products, if you check back on some of the older products, you've got 35% off of those as well at the moment. So should we jump straight back into this other demonstration? I want to make sure that we get them all. So the next one is going to be, I need to check the B card. Actually, it's a different B card. So the Opulent card had a B on it, but this one is with shrink plastic, which is really good fun. So let's have a look at this one.
So we'll get started on this one. What do I have so far? So the things that I've pre-prepared, because you don't want to be seeing me, you know, just using my slicer to cut rectangles of cards. So I've pre-prepared some bits. We've got our sentiment card here, which I've done a thin board around. Done this by cutting a rectangle, you know, measuring a very, very slightly bigger rectangle in black card, and then just stuck it over the top. And I've cut it all around that sentiment that was printed on the card. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going to start by showing you how we use our shrink plastic kits here. So it's a really lovely kit. We've got this protective mat here, so it's a heat protection mat. So if you're using the heat tool, because the heat tool, you know, is designed to be that much hotter for shrinking shrink plastic with, it just works a bit better, it's more workable. We've got this here to help protect your tables at home. This is a tool here that, do you know what, I'm just going to do it and I'm going to show you how it works. So I've pre-cut this from our shrink plastic. This is using the B die. I've used the bigger element of the bee dye and the one that's the base layer for it. The bee dye actually comes, so we've got some layers like this that are smaller. We've got the base layer that doesn't have the detail there, and these layers do have the detail. This is what you put over the top, and I've got an example of that on this card here, where I've used our mirror Opulent card to stick that over the bee there. But we're not going to be using that this time, because we're just going to be using that base layer, which I took out earlier. It's here, so the bigger of the base layers. So I pre-cut this piece of shrink plastic. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of these Sizzix pens with the dual tips here. I'm going to use the smaller tip just for a bit of extra detail. And what I'm going to do, I might do this against a bit of white. I don't know if you can see this very well, but bear with us, sort of working with what we've got at the moment, as we all are. So I'm colouring this in yellow. What we need to remember as well is that when we colour in, it might look like the colours are quite subtle and faded. When you shrink with the shrink plastic, the colours become just that much more intense. So there's the yellow. I've coloured in the body there. Now, I've had to improvise here because in our office we divvied up the pens that were in the studio, and I got given these colours, which I'm really happy with, but they didn't give me the darker black. So what I'm doing, just for the sake of this video, is I've just found a generic black marker pen here. So I'm going to go ahead and colour in the legs here like this, and I'm just doing it like this. I will show you, I'm just going to move on to one that I've made earlier, but I will show you how I've done the wings. This is one that I pre-prepared, and how I've done the wings here, it's just a really simple technique. All you do, outline them carefully. What I love about it as well is that the lines that you draw become thinner when you shrink the plastic, so the detail in some of the designs are brilliant, and you can see that here. You just zoom in here, you can see the detail on there is really, it's like I've done it with an ultra fine line pen. All you do, two little loops like this, sort of bunny ears, and then if you just connect with straight lines at different points, that gives you the look of a bee's wing. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to switch on my heat tool. You'll have to bear with me with the heat tool. It's got two settings. You'll have to bear with just the noise. I might have to shout over it. It's not too loud though. We've got the dual settings, which really makes this heat tool just a step above the rest, because we've got one that it's not too sort of, what's the word? Blowy. It doesn't blow too hard, so you're not chasing the thing around. But the other heat is more intense, and it blows harder as well. So I'm going to put this net over it, and I'm just going to use my lower heat there. You'll see soon it is going to start to form. There we go. And this net will just stop it from being pushed around and moved around. It always seems like it's not going to go into shape, but then at the last second it all curls back out and it does go into shape. There we are. See there, it's gone into shape, and now I'm going to take that away, and I'm just going to put my stampy tool on top here. That press is just going to flatten it. There we go. Lovely. So we've got that bee element there. Now I'm going to take this layered card piece. I'm going move these things out of the way so that you can see everything. I've taken some oxide ink here. All I'm going to do is just a nice blend here. I might use just a tiny bit more. There we are. Oh, where's my little bee element gone? Oh, there it is. Okay, one other thing that I can do is if I use my mat, which is over here. There's just so many things that I want to show you that there isn't enough room on the table for me to do it, but that's okay. So I'm just going to add some of this to the mat. I might just do it with this. There we are. And give it a little spray with my spray water bottle. And then I can just mix it around with my spatula. And I'm going to use this to flick some nice bits. And this kind of gives a splashy pollen effect, which I think is really nice. There we are. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick my bee down using the hot glue gun here. It's the best thing for plastic. Which side shall I use? Shall I use the shiny side? You know what, I'm going to use the shiny side there because I think the colour is just slightly nicer. So, little blob of glue. And I'm going to stick that diagonally onto the card there. There we go, and that's the sentiment for the front of the card. I'll just give that a wipe with some tissue that I have somewhere. Well, I don't have any tissue, but I'll sort that out in a bit. Okay, so here's the card that I was going to use. I'm going to use a bit of foam tape. I'm very into, at the moment, this sort of diagonal layers with the little bits of card. I think it just adds a bit of movement to these cards. So, we've got glue. We don't need to be careful with this part because it's just going to go. It doesn't matter if the edges come up either on here because it just adds to that liveliness of the card. Cats are over here as well. I think working from home can be slightly distracting with, we've got 3 cats at the moment and I'm just hoping that they don't start hitting each other on camera. If it does, it'll just be funny. So here we go. There we go, just a little bit of foam tape on there. Take my fine tip tweezers. I'll just pull the edge up. And then I'm just going to layer that on. So we have a lovely dimensional effect with some diagonal angles. I love that. Okay, so that's the first card that I wanted to show you. Again, this is with the bee die from chapter 2. We've used our shrink plastic. It's just really lovely stuff to use. I, in the past, have been a bit scared of using shrink plastic because I thought it's quite a hard thing to use sometimes because of the way it curls up and you don't know if it's going to, skew, but it just, when you use it, especially when you're using it with these tools, it just seems to be tamed and just turns into what you want it to. So that's a lovely card there.
That's absolutely amazing. How much fun is shrink plastic? I always used to think it was a kiddies craft material, but I love it now, and I think Josh hopefully has just shown you how much you can do with it as well with their dyes. And do you know what I love? I love to see that Josh is not a clean crafter either. He makes just as much mess as all of us. Thank you for all of your comments coming through. They are fantastic. I'm sure Sizzix are watching, so hello to Sizzix. Hopefully they will share all the fantastic comments for Josh to him. We still have one more demonstration from him, which I will show you in just a moment. Now, if you've been reading through the comments, watching the comments, you may have noticed that we have commented to say there's a surprise at the end, so stay tuned for that. This last video is one for me and for children. If you are a bit of a wizard film fan, this is going to be just for you. So this is Josh's last demonstration, except for one we've kept aside. There were so many of them. Using the hot glue gun actually this time to show you how to make something really fun for yourself or children, grandchildren. So enjoy this demonstration as well.
So these magic wands here, have been made from pencils. Okay, so you can see here. There we go. See, that's writing like a pencil, which is just a really cool thing to have. I love them, and I love making them as well. And I've used our Sizzix glue gun to make these. We've got a pencil here. It doesn't matter whether it has a rubber on the end or not, because this is going to be gone over by our fantastic glue gun. But what we're going to start doing is I'm just going to chip away at this using the knife. I'm going to show you the correct way to do this without being any danger of sort of cutting your hand. I'll just put my lid on my gesso there. So what we're going to do, we're going to hold the pencil like so. I'm going to hold the knife with my thumb at the back, and then I'm going to push my own thumb along the pencil like this. I'm going to kind of move the pencil back like this. And the reason that we're doing this is it just creates a really kind of organic area on the pencil. So this will be picked up by some of the paint as we paint it in a bit. Okay, so I'll keep doing this. And we want to do that about halfway up the pencil. If I go in too deep, I'm just gonna, I'll just take it out. There we go, like this. There you go. Just creating some sort of little nooks in the pencil that will be picked up by the paint later, and it creates a really nice effect. Okay. There we are. Okay. So that'll do like this for now. I'm going to put the lid back on my craft knife for safety. And this is where the glue gun comes in. So I'm going to move my paints for the time being. Now the good thing about our glue gun, it gets really hot. It just makes the glue really easy to manipulate. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the pencil a little bit like glass turning, and I'm going to keep turning it as I go, just as I apply that glue slowly. Okay. And when I've got enough on there, in fact intermittently, you can't see this, but I do have a glass of water just on the side here. I'm going to keep just dipping the pencil in where the glue is into the water, and that just cools it enough to carry on going and makes the glue stop running. Okay, so I'm going to carry on around there, and this is just something that you can carry on with. I'm building up the top here. The next part, I'm going to use the same glue gun, obviously. I'm going to be turning the pencil and just drizzling that glue down towards the middle of the pencil where we started cutting. And I'm just going to drizzle it on, keep drizzling on. I've decided to spiral. You can do this in any way that you want, really, because once painted, however you've applied the glue, it will look really cool, because we're going to use a dry brush effect in a minute that just picks up any raised areas. So I'm just going to carry on doing this, and I've got one that I made earlier, and I've painted it using some black gesso. I'm going to leave mine in there. So this is what it looks like once you've finished and you've painted it with the black gesso. Okay? Now all I'm going to do, I've got some different shades of warm colours here because I want mine to look like sort of a wood effect. I'm just going to take some of these colours. You do not need a lot on the brush at all. I'm going to add some colours in, and I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of the white gesso just because this gesso is really nice. It just thickens it all up a bit. And I'm just going to use a dry brush technique, and I'm just catching the edges. You don't have to be, you know, skilled painter to do this. It's something that you just brush it and it starts to work. It takes effect. It's really nice, and it's just so therapeutic to do. It'd be a nice activity to do with the children at home. A bit more on the brush. And if you just zoom in there, you can see where it's picked up the paint and where it hasn't. I'm going to go a bit lighter. And I like to include a few different, you know, red tones in there, just really subtle. There we are. You can see how it's just those raised areas are picking up that paint, and it starts to look a bit more realistic. And as I go down here, same again. Those bits that we cut out earlier, the ridges are going to catch the paint. You can see there. That's really nice. So I will carry on with this. Just adding some browns in now. And you want to start dark normally. I haven't this time, but it's good to start dark and then just build up with lighter tones as you go. There we are, look at that. And this is just that dry brush technique. I'm not getting the brush into those little nooks and crannies, I'm just brushing over them. Okay, and there we are. A really nice wooden effect. Okay, so that's it from me. I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you're managing to stay sane in your houses at home. I hope you got enough craft stuff to keep you occupied during this strange time. I want you to keep safe, keep crafting, and enjoy the video. Thank you very much.
Massive thank you again to Josh. I mean, how amazing were those wands? They were absolutely fantastic. I know so many of you are commenting saying you need to make this for your son, your grandson, your niece, your nephew, whoever it is. I need to be making them for me. I'm a massive Harry Potter fan. So thank you again. I just want to, I know you're all thanking Josh, saying how wonderful he is. I need to pass on my thanks as well. We have thoroughly enjoyed the demonstrations today, hopefully giving you an insight into these chapter 2 new products. Also things like the heat tool with the shrink plastic, the glue gun there making the wands, but of course the glue gun's used throughout sticking embellishments and things down with the stand as well. Now these items, some of these items are included in these 2 prize bundles, and I actually need to be announcing these prizes. But if you are not a winner of the 2 prizes, I've now got the names here. Hold on, because I do have another competition for you to enter in a moment on Craft World. I'll tell you all about that in a moment, and it is a massive prize. I just need to jump on as well and tell you something else. I noticed that people are commenting saying how much they love Sizzix products. Of course, there's so many in the range. It was Danny said she really wants a Big Shot Plus, and I just want to say I've got mine here. Actually, it's really heavy because it's a plus. It's a big one. I've got mine right here. But I had a look at CraftStash whilst you were watching that video, and I noticed, which I didn't know before, there's actually £40 off of the Big Shot Plus, and there's the one with the tray as well, again with around £40 off. So that takes it to under £100. So if you're looking at this bigger machine at the moment, by all means, check out the deals on there. There are lots of other deals for Sizzix at the moment on CraftStash, which is what we've been looking at today. So the Chapter 2, the brand new launch for today, we have the very best prices on the web anywhere. Okay, so check them out while we have those really low prices. That glue gun you just saw being used, we've got that with a free pack of glue sticks as well. So that's our deal of the day. I love this. Look at this. A little bit of hair there. I need a glue gun, I think, to stick that down. We have this machine bundle. Now I need to talk to you about this. So we have the machine bundle, which is the fold away machine. We have the die pick, the release sheets, and an embossing folder, okay, as one big bundle for you, reduced down from $163.99 to $105.99, okay, on CraftStash at the moment. Amazing deal. How would you like to win that? Yeah, that whole bundle. Okay, stay tuned. Let me announce the other two winners for the Sizzix products, and then I'll tell you how to win that. So I need to do a little drum roll of my own. I need a little drummer here for me. So the first winner today for the Sizzix products that I'm going to be sending out, that is, there is within these two bundles, there's a heat gun, there's a glue gun. I think there's some of the papers as well, the Opulent papers and such like that, cardstock, all sorts in there, some dyes too. So the first winner is Jess Allen. Well done, Jess. She said, I'm loving the chapter 2 dyes. We all are. They're amazing. And the second winner is, another drum roll, and I will split these bundles up myself and send them out. I'll do them nice and equally for you, is Linda Daffy. She has said, really enjoy watching this talented man. I presume you're talking about Josh and not me. So yes, Josh is very, very talented, and I cannot wait to have him live with me in the studio doing some more demonstrations on another day. So I talking to you about this competition. That bundle, that exclusive machine bundle, we are going to be giving one away. Sizzix have kindly allowed us to give one away. Now, the value of this is £103.99, and it could be yours, and you can enter right now. So when I've finished, I'm going to say goodbye in a moment. This is why I've left it till last. So you can hop on over to Craft World, okay? If you've not heard of Craft World before, it's a brand new platform. So pop along to Craft World. It has, there's a social on there. So you've got forums. You've got a place to share your makes. You've got a place to find inspirational videos. There's shopping. There's offers on there. Lots and lots of things, and we've got many of our talented designers that work for CraftStash, co-branders and such, doing exclusive videos. Pop on over. When you go over onto the homepage, there's some words at the top. So you've got home, of course, you've got inspiration, you've got I can't remember, you've got shopping and something else there. I go on it so much, I should know. Under inspiration, scroll down, you'll see the Sizzix offer, this machine bundle. You can enter straight away. Now, the way you need to enter is you need to have watched this live, so you're all the lucky ones. You need to comment on there who has joined me today on my live. Now, if you've been watching for even the last 3 minutes, you'll know that. So pop on over, comment, and then hopefully one of you, well, I know one of you will have won that machine bundle. So make sure you do that today. So don't forget, there's a few more things I need to remind you of in case you didn't catch them earlier. Over on CraftStash, we have the new Sue Wilson collection has launched as well. That is available today. We have free delivery on the magazines. That's been extended. If you love craft magazines, or maybe you're thinking, I need something to read other than my gossip magazines at the moment whilst I'm indoors, I want to learn a new craft. Free delivery on all the magazines. That's been extended till the middle of the month roughly. Could be extended again, but we don't know. So grab those now, or subscribe to the magazines as well, because that's a surefire way to make sure you're getting your favourite ones. On Saturday, that's tomorrow, where has this week gone? On Saturday, Altenew are having their 6th birthday. We love Altenew stamps as well, so we are joining in with the Blog Hop. Our lovely design team member, Linda Parker, has designed 3 fantastic cards, and they will be under the inspiration section on CraftStash, so make sure you check them out. Check out the deal of the day. Always sign up for these emails from CraftStash, because you are going to get all of these offers that I'm telling you every day to your inbox, so you don't miss out on anything. So well done to Jess Allen, well done to Linda Daffy as well for winning those prizes. Make sure you're all going over to Craft World now. If you do need to sign up, it's simply an email address and a password. It costs you nothing. It's completely free. So ensure you do that to be in the chance of winning this Sizzix huge machine bundle as well. Thank you all for joining me. It's been fantastic fun. Thank you to Sizzix, and thank you to Josh as well. I will see you here again next week. I think I've got Daisy May next week. maybe. So new products from her as well. I look forward to seeing you all again then. Stay safe. I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.